Welcome to the 30-day scripting challenge. 30 days and more. Oh my god. This is the entry, like the 26th entry. It's a party system. And party systems, bunch of players, they get into a little group, and that's basically it. So, setup, I just made the UI, which you can look at the hierarchy here, and that's all I'm going to explain right now, because I don't want to stay awake a lot longer. It is 10:40 p.m. on a school day, and I don't enjoy waking up at 6 in the morning off of 2 hours. Nah, probably not 2. I'm like 6 hours of sleep. If this video goes up to 12 p.m., which I hope it doesn't, but it probably will. Party systems are quite easy to make, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to make a party system using an actual real service, not the way I've been doing it before. Because everything in this, like, actual 30-day thing that I've been making, I've made a lot of really big mistakes that I've revised on, and I do not enjoy, but it's here now and I'm not going to do it. So as a matter of fact, I've also made a folder called Server Frameworks because there's actually a very good reason as to why we need server frameworks, because the client doesn't need to access everything, only things that need to be accessed by both the server and the client. So anyways, to start, I just get into it. Functionality, very simple. We just want this party button to open up our mainframe. So I'm just going to put this at a very slight transparency, maybe like 0.95, because when this thing is open, it's not going to show anything. We're going to have it show either no party, has party, based on what information you have. So inside of starting player scripts, this is where we're going to put the client side part of this. I'm going to try to mimic an SSA architecture as close as I can, but obviously I will need to add another entry point. And for those who don't know, entry points are basically local scripts or server scripts. So I'm going to call this party UI. We're going to make a local script here. This is simply the entry point, and all we're going to do is require whatever module that we have in here. So I'm just going to implement a module script right here, and this module script is going to be called main. Main should do it fine there. And in this entry point client, we're simply just going to get main, and that's it. Not that main. This main right here. I had another model script. I don't know. Okay. So what we want to do in this main is we need to get all of the UI. So it's quite small. So my jaw hurts really badly. I think I talked a bit too much today. Yeah. So it means main. We're just going to get the local player, the player GUI. Keep things simple. And also one thing I'd like to note is that I'm still trying to get that consistent name scheme and formatting done, because I don't know if other people can relate, but there are a lot of people who can just slip different coding styles. For instance, mixing camel case, snake case. So at school, I did computer science, and a lot of times we're coding in Python, and I notice a lot of my group members have the same issue, but that's off topic here. Anyways, we simply just now need to get all of our main UI, and for that I'm going to be talking about the open button. So we could say local party frame. It's going to equal player GUI, main GUI dot a party frame here, and we can say local open will be the party frame dot open. And essentially what we want here is we want when this button is open, we need to have it run a load UI thing. And one other thing I like to talk about with UI is we want the order requirement to be in one direction only, and to allow that, usually each different component of UI, like the party frame or inventory frame, will have their own main script, and either inside of that you would create modules for specific things, or have it be all centralized, because UI can be centralized very easily, especially when you're using React, which I think I really would get into React Lua. I really should get into it, because then you'd put everything basically in one script. But anyways, when the button is pressed, we need to now run a script. So we can say, so we're going to run a load UI portion, and we have to have a toggle here as a boolean, and essentially what this is going to do is it's going to be the visibility of the UI. So in this case, we're going to have this determined based on the visibility of our mainframe. So let's go on ahead and grab the mainframe, and we're going to set the visibility to to be the opposite of visibility. And then in this, we're going to send in the boolean here, because this is simply just to handle the parent visibility. In this case, if we are toggling it, meaning if it is visible after we click on it, then we're going to run. Now also we could just send in, I think this would work, if we just do that, right? I don't know, I've actually never tried doing this before, believe it or not. Now here we're just going to set the main frame visible will equal to the toggle, and we can now set up the rest of the things here. So if we are making the UI visible first, let's run that logic first. We need to ask the server if the player is in a party. So we need to create a connection to the server that will give us the party info. So here's a remote function called getParty, and inside the server frameworks folder, inside the week 4, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a folder, and this is going to be called the party framework. Or actually, no, this is a service. I'll actually make it like service. That's not dependent on game code, because I was making them wrong, by the way, which I definitely should have talked about sooner. So party service, this is going to be a game independent bit of code. I don't know the exact term for it, I'm just going to call it game independent. So this will be the server's entry point, and we're going to put a module script here, and this will be the whole party service here. Everything is going to run between these two scripts because of how lightweight we're going to make this be. So, as usual, we're simply going to call the party service to require it, and then we can just close out of that, and we can close out of this as well, by the way, because that's all we're using it for. And in an actual SSA, and by the way, SSA means single script architecture. I know if there are any bee swarms and fish watching, you're gonna think Supreme Star Amulet, because that's what comes to my mind as well. So I'm not alone there. Usually you would have one main script. Now, and if I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the frameworking video, which I also made a lot of mistakes on, by the way. In the frameworking video, we did make a client loader and a server loader, but those were very undefined. Their scope was very limited. So let's grab up replicated storage, and let's get the get party thing here. So also, in case you might be wondering why I keep typing 1 instead of like moving up, so let's move up here and like typing 1 like this. So I recently just got a new keyboard, and it's like a bit smaller than my old one, and the numpad has the number 1 right next to the up arrow key, and I use the up and down arrow keys for moving between lines. So sometimes I'll click 1 instead of the up arrow key because it's right next to it. Sometimes a bit annoying. Like, yeah, anyways, that's our remote function here that we're gonna call from main. So if we are toggling, let's also get the, see, I did the same thing there. Let's go on ahead and grab the thing here, and if we are toggling, we say local party invoke server, and we're just going to send the player over because we're going to store one value, and that's just the player's party. And a party is just going to be a table, a dictionary that has a bunch of things, such as party leader, players in the party, and all the data about the party. So simply, we catch the player when they join, and we're going to assign them into the party service to store them. And if they did end up getting a party, we're going to put their party as their thing here. I'm just going to return party service player back to the thing here. So we could say if party, that means the player has a party, we're going to open up the has party thing, and the else is if they don't have a party, we're going to no party. So let's grab no party and has party, just like that. And if they have a party, then we're going to set has party equal to true, else no party dot equal to true. And if we're not toggling, we just want to set everything to be invisible, by the way. But this is the basic part, so let's go give it a test here. And we got an error, so give me a sec. Okay. It looks like we have to put a wait here, let everything load. And I low-key don't know why my right click isn't working. I think it has something to do with one of the UIs, so give me a second. Alright, so yeah, it works. I didn't think where it was working. Yeah, click the party button, and we have create party and join party. And yes, I know my UI design is very good. I got a Figma account because my school offered Figma, and I got a student account for Figma. I still have it, and I was telling myself start learning UI design because I also do graphic designing, and graphics designing is quite similar to UI design, but I just never took the extra step, which I might do, I don't know. Anyways, now we can simply handle the if there isn't a thing, because the main aspects here is simply the has party and no party, because the other UI, let's see the party frame. The other UI is the create party frame, and that's gonna be if they decide to actually click it. So what we need to do now is we need to actually check when the player clicks on a certain button. So we're going to add our connections here. Actually, the connections should go beneath this. So we'll say local as party connection, and we'll say local no party. And actually, we're going to say, because has party would mean you're just going to open up or whatever, and then no party would be. Wait, what am I doing? I'm actually stupid. No, this should be the join party connection, because the button is to join the actual party, and this will be to create the party, and we'll get the button variables there. So maybe we should make the button variables separate if they're frames. So local create party button is equal to the no party dot create button, and local join party button is equal to the no party dot join button. And we have connections. The reason why we want connections is we're going to connect the listener in here in this little if condition. Or actually, I don't think I even need to put connections here. We'll connect the listener outside, because as long as the UI stays clickable, it won't really create like an overflow or whatever they're called. So we can simply say create party button dot split, let's say activated colon connect function, and then we also have the join party button dot activated colon connect function. So when the create party button is pressed, we want to open up the create party frame and make the join party thing invisible, basically. So when the create party frame is open, the join party, in this case the available parties frame, will be invisible, and then the thing will be invisible, the button, join party button will be invisible. So we'll use that as our toggle thing here. So in this case, we click the button and it makes the UI invisible. That means we're setting it to be false. So say local toggle, right? That's going to equal to the not, right. So if not toggle, and I know, actually we'll call this anti-toggle, so that way it'll make a bit more sense. So if not anti-toggle, that means we're opening up all of it, right? So the create party frame will be visible. So let's go verify. Let's go make a variable for it, right? We'll say create party frame dot visible will equal to true. In this case, if anti-toggle is actually thinking about it, there's probably a better way. Yeah. This will also work, by the way. We're gonna then set the. Also, looks like I made a spelling mistake. You're not frame, you're frame. Whoops. So there we go. That's the simplest thing there. It's gonna make this visible. Now we can also put a listener for that. So now if we open this and we click create party, it'll open this thing up. Click it again, it'll remove it, just like that. See, now we can open and close it. And now in here is where we're going to actually work on the functionality. So in this case, we need to actually set up the create party listener, because unlike the create party and close party thing, this listener is like on the inside basically. So we would want to, or honestly, I don't know. I'll probably just look into that after. I think I'm overthinking it a tiny bit. Yeah, let's actually make a different function. And this should give us the same functionality there. Perfect. So now when we use the actual X button, so in this case we can say disable that, disconnect. And now that should also work. So we do this create party, click the X, and yeah, we can now open and close this without a problem there. So let's now also work on the creating the party functionality here. So we have our confirmation button, the party size, and the party type. The only thing we care about is the create party confirmation. So we could create another connection, so we could say, so create party. It's going to be the create party frame dot create party confirm activated function here. And with that, we're going to basically just get the variables that we have. So the party size and party type. Though the way party type's gonna work is a bit interesting. You have to like click it and like cycle through between. So as a matter of fact here, let's have that set to be open. So we'll have open and then other party types. So you definitely want friends only, and then we also want private as well. So anyways, we're going to also have the party size. So the size is going to be use a two-number function, and we do create party frame dot party size. And also I need to make sure that this is numbers only. So created some bounds here for the party size, that we can't be greater than 10, can't be less than 0. I don't think two-number takes negatives, so that should catch it already, but if it does, then I think we'll just do less than 1, because right here we can then tell the server to validate a party creation. And as a matter of fact, I feel like this logic should be done on the server. So yeah, actually this is a good idea actually. Now for the party type, basically what the UI looks like for that, I don't think I showed it, but it's this like party type open, you click it and it cycles between the 3 options. So the way we want to do this is connect yet again another listener to it. So right, and we're gonna disconnect it at the end once this is called. So like we'll put like a local results, and that's just going to be if the server creates the party. Say like if result, then party type connection, and disconnect, and create party connection, disconnect. So that'll be our function basically. Now, we're going to use something called a module to do this. I don't think I've talked about module before, but what we're essentially going to do is we're just going to make our thing here, and it's just going to be a table that's going to have all of the things. So it'll say like open, and then this one will be friends only, this one will be private, and that's basically that. And we also want to store like current. So in the case I have nowhere on open, and that'll just let them like cycle through the different things. So we're going to say, actually wait, no, this should be on the outside. We don't want that every time they're clicked. What's going to happen here is that we're going to get our current, and that's going to equal to the modulo of the number of our types plus 1, because the modulo works by n minus 1. Modulos are very cool. I don't want to explain it. It's already 11:22. God dang. And our button, which in this case is the party type button. So create party frame party type dot text is going to equal to party type concatenated with the types current, and that's it. So yeah, our modulos are denoted or notated. I have no clue. I don't remember. I'm like short-circuiting right now with the percentage sign, so a lot of people get confused and think we're getting the percentage of something when you see this as a modulo. Modulos are cool. So that's going to do that, and we're going to set the party type variable to be the types current. So open, friends only, private. And now we're going to actually get to the thing. But let's verify here that things work. So create party, and we can, so open, do that. And this next thing. So let's say I enter like, click create. It's not going to work. Do I even have a print statement in there? We'll just put that right. Now, let's go get that emote function in. And we're going to call this a request party, and we're basically going to get that request party right here. Request party creation. And then here we're going to get the same thing. Local request. Okay, so I'm now just realizing this. When I said I was going to make an actual system that wasn't dependent on game code, I completely messed up. This is already being dependent on game code because we're using the remote functions inside the service. What you should be doing, if this is an independent thing, is you would route it to a networker or some kind of external module to then get the data, or you would just put the functions directly in here. I obviously did not do that, so yeah, I'm not a good look for me. Request party creates on server function player, and we're also gonna want to send everything like the party data. So when we call this, we're just going to say request party creation, invoke server. We're going to pass in the party type and the size right here. So in this case, you're going to take the party type, which is a string, a size, which is a number. In this case, it's an integer, but I don't think it has an integer. Okay, now we're going to get that check running right here. So we'll take this, and just to make things safe, we're just going to copy this types folder, put that there, and run table.find types party type. Then we're simply going to return nil. In this case, if all these conditions are safe and everything is valid, we'll create the party. So all we're going to do when we create a party is we're going to set the player's initial status to be things. So party service player is now going to equal to this table, right? So in this case, they are creating the party. So it's going to be party leader. Actually, we're just going to say leader. Leader is going to equal to the player. And actually, as a better thing, we should just use player.userid instead here, because that's a bit safer. So we're going to use the user ID. It's a bit safer. No, actually, no, yeah, we'll use that. It's fine. Then we're also going to want to store the size of the party and the party type and members, just like that. And that's it. That's what we're going to have. And then we're going to return this. So that way all the safety and handling is on the server, not on the client. Because the client could just spoof parties and all that. So I don't want us to know. So that's basically all of that works out just fine there. Now we can do the functionality of the party UI itself. And then we can handle the joining a party. Because joining a party is going to be the easiest thing. Or actually, we join a party. It doesn't matter what we do. The functionality is both quite similar here. So if the result exists, we're going to now run the create party thing here. So let's put that up here. So we say function main initialize party, and wait, no, actually we can just run load UI. So we can say main toggle create party UI false, even main load UI true. And in this case, has party is going to open up, and we can run the has party logic right here. So let's give that a try for now, see how everything is going. And by the looks of it, I don't think it worked. So let's see what it's printing out here. So that's nil, obviously. And now it's nil again. So it looks like party isn't. That's why, because I'm not setting player.userid here. Okay, that should work now. And it looks like we're getting another issue here. Oops, didn't mean to close that. So let's see the data that we're sending out here. So let's print the party type and the size and make sure that that is doing good there. So private and 3, but we're still getting that invalid party creation request. And that only happens if the result is nil. So if the results is nil, then so it should be player.userid. That's right. Okay, do this 3 create. There we go. Okay, that works. And now we have this thing. So if I do this and I open the party, then you're in a party now, right? And in it we see leader. This is my user ID. This is the members, which is just me. I'm going to add my thing to it. So add the player user ID there because we're a member, and the party size and the party type, right? So that's good, and the functionality works now. So now let's actually load up the has party portion here, which is going to be the party members frame, which is going to happen every time a player joins or leaves the party. So has party is just a party members frame, players list, invite players, leave party. So first of all, the leader title, that's the most important, obviously. So actually no, I don't even need to. I'll access everything from has party. So has party.leader title will be the party. Actually, it should be, we need to get their username. So players dot get player by user ID, and the user ID will be the party dot leader and then dot name. So let's go do that and make sure that works. Okay, leader title is not a valid member of this. What? It very much exists. Put a wait for child there. Oh, okay. So it has party. There we go. And that works. This is the very, very badly thing. So the leader title works. So we'll add the party thing there just to make it look nicer. And other functionality here is we need to update the party members frame. So for underscore member in party members, I think we need to use pairs for this. I don't know. We're going to say local. This is new text. Hello sound effect. What the hell? Text label, and we'll say clone.name is going to equal to the member. Are we putting user IDs in? Yes, we are putting user IDs in. Yeah, whatever. Okay, and we'll say clone.text was equal to players colon get player by user ID, and we put the member in because the member is the user ID. So the clone.text scale is equal to true. Clone.parent will equal to has party dot members frame, and then there's the UI list layout. So we're just going to copy this. Just gonna check if the instance, if it is a text label, we're going to destroy it just like that, and we're gonna repopulate it with this. Let's see if that works, and not in party.members. In the as party members frame, colon get children. Unable to assign property text string instance dot name. Gotta do that. And it appears that I am not on here. So let's take a look at the UI here, see what's going on. This is indeed so canvas is moving. Okay, there we go. I cannot scroll though, so doing that, making sure things work. Still can't scroll though. Now I can scroll. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's me. That's the player in the party. And the next functional part is the invite players panel here. So here we can say as party.invite players activated context function. We can say that I'm just probably gonna put all of the toggle information inside here, by the way, because so when it's activated, we want to populate the players list, and we're gonna do the same exact thing here. So all I'm gonna do is put this in here. But players list there. And now what we need to do is we need to make sure the player's not in the party. So if not, we'll find party.members player user ID. Then so this will show you everyone who is in the party. And yeah, that should literally do it. So invite, that didn't make it, I didn't make it visible, that's why. And then we'll set the as party.player list not visible to not. So there we go. And in this case, because I haven't tested out joining parties yet, this will just stay empty for now and everything should work there. Also, it should be a text button, by the way. So we're making a function to invite the player, but we're going to tell the server to tell our client. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pop up a little thing on the notification frame here. So once again, we're going to want to put a remote event saying invite player should work. So we'll say local invite player, and here we're going to run the invite player thing here. So we'll say invite player fire server. I'm gonna send in their user ID. In this case, when this is called, or actually we can just have it receive. We don't even need this. We'll just do it. Yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll say event connect function, and in this case, we want to send the party to join. Right now, when this happens, we're going to create a thing here. Just gonna copy this. We want to get a name. And the text will be, in this case, the leader is, so invite you to join their party. And the parent is going to be the notification frame, party frame dot notification frame. And we're going to say add item clone, we'll give it 5 seconds. And if it's activated, we're going to make a request to join a party. So we're going to, first let's actually get the server side going. So we're going to say invite player on server event connect function. In this case, we have the player and the target we want to send it to. In this case, we're going to say player fire client target. And here you can always add limiting checks, basically to make sure that player can overload the server with stuff, but like a buffer in here, but I'm too lazy to do that. It's 11:54. Oh my gosh, gee, well, no sleep for me. So we're then gonna tell the target. That's right. We also need to pass in the thing. So that is the party there. In which case, then this is gonna call text text button. When it's activated, we're going to now make another remote function. Or actually, it doesn't need to be, it could be a remote event, actually. Yeah, we'll use a remote function, and we'll say request party join. And let's go ahead and ignore that. So we just say local request party join is equal to storage.shared.remotes.request party join creation. You know, that reminded me of the joy of creation, if anyone knows what that is. It's a FNAF game. Anyways, the request party join, so now we can simply just say party join on server invoke is equal to function. In this case, we have the player and the party, and we're actually just going to add a security measure here to make sure the player can't forcefully enter the party. And we're gonna put a, oh wait, no, actually that wouldn't work. I was gonna say we're gonna bypass it, but I remember that can easily be spoofed. So what we want to do is have it give a notification over to the, actually no, whatever, we're just gonna have it be direct. Honestly, if it's private, then it won't really do anything. So in this case, we want the party to be sent in, so we're going to say request party join, invoke server, and the request party will leave the party to join. Say if not results, then print unable to join party. And then program the leave party, which the leave party will be very, very simple to program here, which we'll do that in a second. So now when they do that, we're going to just put them in the party. So we could say party service shoot. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Wait, actually, no, I don't got it. The leader will have everything updated, but oh wait, no, the leader's thing. So we assign the key, which in this case is the user ID of the party leader, and then we have him access that. So yeah, so the this will equal that. We're gonna return this if it's just for the leader, but in this case we want to set theirs to equal to nil, and the leader's user ID is tied directly to it, right? But if the player wants to do it, then we want to set theirs to be equal to, forgot how keyword is that. Oh my god, let's find a fix for this. So this way, because we're assigning the leader's user ID, and we can do it this way too, where that makes a bit more sense, I hope. Okay, anyways, what we're gonna want to do now is obviously get the party to join. So gotta trace it back. So we're sending, well, in this case, only the leader can be sending party invites then, which we don't want. So we want, because regardless, the leader's thing would be this, and the key to that is also the number. So that should, in theory, work. Now, in this case, we want to get party from the user ID. So not physical properties. Party service. Wait, no, we already have the actual ID though, because let's just return the ID then. Let's return that, because it's just going to equal the key to the party, and then in this case, that will now give us this. Yeah, okay. Player, and then now we can set the party service to equal the party. Okay, there we go. And then we can have one for leaving the party, which it doesn't need a validation for. Oh, we can just put it as a remote event. Not remote event. This will be to leave the party. This will be very, very easy to do, by the way. And all we're going to do is we're just going to say party.onServe function, the player and the party to leave. And it's just going to be the same thing here. But instead of this, we're just going to say table.remove that equal to nil. Perfect. Just like that. Now, back on this end here, we're just going to load up all of the... Let's connect the leave party button thing anyways, if I need to do that. Create party connection. Yeah, right here. So we could just say local leave connection. Say connection is equal to has party.function. And then let's go on ahead, grab this leave party right here. Toss that down. Say leave party, fire server. And the party we want is this. That is the wrong bit of UI here. This is the one that we want. And when we do leave, we can just say main UI, just like that. So it'll leave us in party UI. All that will be good to go. Okay, that should do it there. Now, the join party button, very simple. When it's opened, we're literally just going to open up the available parties. It's just going to be like the toggle create party UI, but I'm just going to load up all the parties. And then when, hey, it is 12:09 a.m. I'm going to toggle join party. And the join party is basically going to be off of the create party button visible. And in this case, we're just going to say, what do I know? If toggle, okay, so if it is toggle, then we're going to set. Now here, we're just going to populate everything with all of the parties that are true. So of course, we need a remote function to get all parties. So we're going to say local parties is going to equal to a function for get all parties. Copy this, put it on our server side here, do that, and we'll say parties.invoke is a function player that's need that. So I'm just going to return party service. This has all of the parties in it. Oh wait, no, that's right. Because we want to return a table. We want to return a dictionary, or to return all of the parties. So going back down here, we're just going to say get all parties on invoke server. Now we're going to populate the available parties here. So main available parties. Yeah, so we're just going to first clear it out. So if it is a text button, we're just going to destroy the child. And now we're going to populate everything. I'm going to set the size. And the text is just going to be the leaders thing. But first we need to make sure the party is, and also we need to make sure. Oh, and I need to make a way to check if it's if friends only will work or not. Yeah, I low key. I don't want to make your friends only thing right now. So, anyways, now the text is going to be the player is going to get player by user ID party dot leader name the number of party number, and now we want to put it inside of the available parties in main if not parties. If not, create visible will equal to true, and available parties will be visible to true. That's right. But here we're just gonna say, and now we just gotta handle the join logic here. So we're just going to join the party. So when we're just gonna say this stuff right here, and the party to join is simply just this right here. But in this case, we want the user ID party leader, because when we're requesting to join, the party is okay. Everything should be here. Okay, I think that just a couple bug fixes there. I mean, I need to test this with like 2 people actually, so let's go do that. I don't actually know how you're supposed to do it in the new UI team. I don't know how we're supposed to test multiple. Oh, there we go. I think that's how you do it. Yeah, okay, got it. Okay. So this is our server. Server doesn't matter. We just need both of our clients. So player 1, player 2, click the party, click join party. That is the first thing. We need to put a wait for child. Okay, so it looks like some UI functionality is wrong here. Okay, so no, I don't want to stop. I just need to test it because the join party thing happens and you're not invisible. That's the thing. So again, click this again and you're not gonna be invisible again. And then that has to be the create party button. So that's probably why. So perfect. Now I can do a proper test there. Oh, and that's right. Also, if the party leader leaves the party, the entire party should be deleted. I can do that after this. So create party. Just do to create. Now that you're still visible, by the way, so I need to fix that. Invite player 2. Is that not a? That's why. Okay, I gotta stop it and make sure that. So we are running load. Okay, fix that. Add a remote event for a party leader leaves the party. So this is essentially just going to remove everyone from the party when the party leader leaves. That basically just disbands the party, essentially. Disbanded. And then we're going to tell the client that the party has been disbanded, and simply on the client we're just going to put a little thing at the bottom here. for that. So party disbanded, client event function, and then here we're simply just going to say link load at true, and then because the party has been disbanded, but they're just gonna not be in the party. So alright, I'm tired. Look at the clock, as you can see it's 12:40 right now. Wow, that's crazy. Let's go create a party and create it and invite. Okay, I think it's because I didn't enable active on that thing, because I sometimes forgotten that in order for dot activated to be used, that method to be used, the UI has to have the active property set to true. So we do this, and this entire thing is clickable. Is it the size of the, hold on, let me just take a look here. Let me turn interactable and see if because that might be the reason. So this is a new property added, because I definitely did not see interactable before, and I think that might make a UI interaction priority a bit nicer. Boom. This entire thing, why do I have two cursors? What? So it looks like it's not exactly working there. Alright, let's try mouse button, one click. Hopefully that works. And genuine. UI is something that I definitely need to spend more time in, because still I'm trying to work a lot more in React. Okay, that works, but player 2 now isn't invited. Oh, I know what the issue is. It's the background transparency. Alright, that should work now. Both visible and it's not transparent. In this case, it's now saying unable to join party, but if I click on it once, I can join it. So another bug. Let's make sure is that the rhythm actually works. So I didn't include that before. I'm just delete things that we can't join multiple times, and the party limit will also work. Alright, we're now in the party. It shows up here, but this shouldn't show up because now I can keep inviting him, and that's not much. So if I create a party here, and I go to join party, the next number of the reader. Okay, 164. Okay. Test drive. So the other half works. I think it's between the player invited still being person. So that's great. Now we're in that number 9. Okay. That's in. That makes sense to invite. No one's there. Party. Yeah. Okay. I can invite myself to my own party. More about this. Great. Yeah, I think everything works out just good here. What? Dude, so I'm playing as player 1. Player 2 left the party, and now I can invite myself to the party. Okay, so apparently I can't. They have the same user ID. Like, I think everything's good to go, honestly. Function-wise, everything loads accordingly, and the only thing is just testing team test, because they have the same user ID. They just can't. Work together, which is why they're appearing on the outside, because when they're moving the player and the player's in the user ID is the leader. So anyways, that's it. It works. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it works. You know, just not in team test. It is 1:05 in the morning. Who's ready to get 5 hours of sleep? Because I sure as hell am not. And I have to fall asleep too, by the way. I'm taking the thumbnail screenshots, by the way. These are the thumbnail screenshots. Yeah, those are some tough thumbnail screenshots. So that's pretty much the bait. Okay, worthy of this. Oh my god, I was about to say I have a headache, but in reality I don't have a headache. I'm glad that I got day 26 done with. It was just like 4 more entries after this. Maybe 3 more. I don't know. And then the thing is that I'm just gonna start making solo portfolio entries after this. This was a grand total of 2 hours and 22 minutes, by the way. So a lot longer than what I wanted, but that's the party system basically good to go. Alright, yeah. I hope someone benefit from this video other than me. If there are any bugs, if anyone downloads the DXM and they test it out and there are bugs, you can go bully me about it, because I don't like having a buggy game. And there were definitely security flaws that were in here, but I am yapping too much about it.